Koetter Woodworking got started back in 1959. Mom and Dad actually got married in 1958. We're actually building the house we're currently in right now. And while they were building the house, they had a vision. Mom come from a poultry family, raised a lot of poultry, and had a vision of raising poultry, going out on their own. While building the house, next door neighbor, Ed Rocky from Starlight Cabinet, asked Dad if he would be kind enough to give him some part-time help up there. Dad started work up here a little bit in the evenings, on the weekends, and he quickly was run out of his framing for his kitchen cabinets.
He says, I just stopped in the Day Lumber Company to get some frame stock, build cabinets, they don't have any. And he says, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. I says, well, I can probably help you out there. I'd run down over the hill and get some lumber and bring it up here and plane it off and dress it up and get some for you in a little bit if you want me to. Man, he says, I wish you would. So that's the thing that kind of got me started. And after I got to making it for him, well, he kind of liked what I did for him better than what he was getting from Day Lumber Company and the other sources. So that's kind of what got me into the woodworking business.
He had asked Dad if he'd mind being his full-time vendor. So that turned in, instead of the block building behind us being raising poultry, turned into making cabinet components. So that's how the thing got started in 1959. I actually started in the basement of the house we're in right now.
Of course, I built this concrete block building out here to run it in. As they were growing up, that's where I worked, and they come out as they got big enough to help me a little bit. And as the business grew and more buildings grew and they grew, we all grew together.
We get home from school, Dad always have a schedule laid out for us of stuff he'd like for us to get done that night, and you know, he taught us how to do it.
You know, it was just a thing that naturally happened. You know, the kids grew as the company grew. You know, I mean, we started this thing right after my wife and I got married, and of course, she done a fantastic job raising the babies, and so while she was raising babies, I was raising trees. Yeah.
Mary Frances was such a kind, compassionate, giving, caring person. I always admired her. She was not only a fabulous mother, an engaged mother, she was also a very savvy and smart businesswoman, which I admired how she was able to balance both being a mother and also being a businesswoman.
Mom was, she never was in the limelight of the business, but she was kind of the glue that held all of us together. How she kept track of all of us, and obviously all of us worked well together, worked hard together, and kind of knew our roles. It just seemed like it automatically happened. I'm certain there was a lot of guides that took place, but she played a critical role in managing all behind the scenes on accounting and payroll and payables and receivables and all the HR functions.
Mary Frances was a very silent person. She didn't want anyone to give her credit, but certainly she was a very generous person and always there to help out in the background and also silently helping others in many ways, whether that was through her personally, her and Tom, or whether that was through the Starlight Foundation.
Technology has taken us to being able to service the customer as we've never been able to.
We get challenged every day with something new, something that we've not seen before.
Job site labor is getting tougher and tougher. The more that we can do in a factory setting is being sought after.
One thing's for sure, starting with the architect all the way through the builder and the dealer, they all want it faster, faster than ever.
The ability for Koetter Woodworking to get a custom product to market, literally sometimes, is only hours.
No longer are the dealers actually carrying large amounts of inventory as they did in years past. They want to order what they need and have it delivered when they need it. With over 200,000 square feet of stocking inventory, we're able to pull orders, process, and have material loaded on our trucks and out the door, oftentimes within 24 to 48 hours.
The trucks are a vital part because of our on-time scheduling delivery.
We feel like our fleet is a reflection on the company, on the family.
It's a beautiful sight seeing all the trucks lined up and loaded for delivery. And we're very proud of our fleet and drivers.
The team that it takes today is a different team than we had 5 years ago in operating our equipment. We are migrating towards less of a laborer and more of a technician.
It's crazy to think that at one time it took a couple of hours to set up a machine. We've taken that time from 2 hours down to minutes.
On our profile milling, the process starts with a request from a given customer that typically has an architect's fingerprints on it.
We wanted to provide a tool to the architects to make it easier for them when creating various molding combinations, specifying products. The layout designer gives the user the ability to go in and select a group of profiles and actually create a mock-up. We know that creative process can be challenging, and Envision It is a tool that puts that creativity right at the architect's fingertips.
It's not just in the mold departments, it's currently now into our scanning with the lumber, our scanning on chopping material quickly and accurately. We are dependent on the technology that winding brings to the table. It has set ourselves apart. The support that winding gives us and them understanding that we have to have this has really, I think, brought both Koetter Woodworking and winding to where we are. As the world becomes more time sensitive for things to happen quickly and accurately, we want to see if we have a place to fit into those challenges.
It's amazing to see where we came from and where we're at today. Mom and Dad taught us to lead and manage with humility, and would like to continue in our growth of developing people. We now have 325 team members.
It does feel like a family business. Many times folks have really came from just across the field to come and work with us and have stayed for years and years, decades in fact.
Technology is important. I mean, it's crucial to our success, but the most important thing is the people.